Yo, today we're going to be going over the Bells of Steel leg curl leg extension machine. We'll be going over price, how it compares to the competition, then using and reviewing it. Time codes in the description below. Feel free to ask me any questions about this or any other piece of gym equipment in the comments below, because I'm just small enough, that is to say absolutely tiny, that I'll answer anything you guys ask. Anyway, let's get started. So you're looking at beefing up those chicken legs, eh? Well, leg extensions are the way. Now, I'm not saying Bells of Steel does it best, but when I bought this, it was exactly what the doctor ordered. Competitively priced at just $400 before taxes, shipping is free, and $432 after, and designed with compactness in mind. This space and money saver is a steal of a deal. If you've watched more than one of any of my videos, then you know I live for the thrill of a deal. $432 ain't really it, but you know, whatever. Assembly was pretty easy, and I can disassemble then reassemble for you guys if need be. I bought and assembled this prior to even having a YouTube, and I don't really want to take it apart, but I am your biggest fan. So let me know. This is what Bells of Steel calls their Hydra version, which should fit any 3x3 rack with 5/8 inch holes. Bells of Steel also makes their Manticore version, which is equivalent to the Rogue Monster series, so 3x3 with 1-inch holes. And if neither one of those fits, Bells of Steel also makes their absolutely disgusting 60mm version, which should fit 2.3 by 2.3 inch racks with 5/8 inch holes, though that one is currently out of stock until June. So Titan's rack-mounted leg machine is the only other comparable option out there. And oddly enough, it's more expensive than Bells of Steel's version. Titan's is priced at $450 before taxes. Shipping is also free, but after purchasing, taxes make it around $486 for me. As I was editing, I went onto Titan's website. They do have a sale right now for the leg curl leg extension for around $380. Get it now while it lasts. And when you put them side by side, Titan's beats Bells of Steel in terms of user and plate capacity. But I guarantee it's harder to put on and take off because it's also 25 pounds heavier. Now I'll put this thing on. Start with the top safety pin to hold it in place. And I can tell you that lining up the hole is a major mitch. This thing ain't light at about 60 pounds. So if you can't swing that, I wouldn't recommend getting it unless you have the space on the rack to have it permanently attached. And at that point, a standalone would be a better option. I like having the leg roller near the floor because my leg curls feel better when the weight is right behind my ankles. And the height doesn't really matter for the leg extensions. The second pin is much easier, but be sure to put in both pins towards the leg roller, otherwise they'll limit the range of the movement arm. And that's it. This baby's on here. One thing I was an idiot about was being so excited to grab it that I didn't read any of the specs. And it says the max user capacity is 250 pounds, and I'm 265, so you can see my non-moral dilemma. However, my wife says she's into bad boys, and I live on the edge. So I've been using it anyway, and I've had no issues. The seat has multiple positions that are kept in place by a screw pin, which is kind of annoying. Look at this. I'm an idiot of the greatest magnitude. I won't fix anything that I've already said, but I will move forward with this information. There's 3 positions: straight up for standing leg curls, seated for leg extensions, and barely angled for leg extensions again. While that does seem pointless, I actually do like the more angled version because I feel more secure in my seat. One thing you should know is that this is basically a mini lever arm, and so at the bottom you're barely feeling this weight at all. But as you get further from the ground, gravity starts to take hold, and you start feeling the weight more and more as you go up. The physical machinations of the Bells of Steel leg curl leg extension machine are an enigma. I circumvent that issue by adding a band to the machine, and they even say to do so on their website. So for leg extensions, I'm at about 115 per leg, and I'm about at 45 pounds per leg for leg curls. I have no idea how the band affects the plate capacity, but because it isn't a downward force, I would imagine that it doesn't affect it much. I mean, I guess I'll eventually find out because you know I'm going to continue ucking around. If you actually come to my point of view, you'll see that there is a slight angle to the leg roller, which is created from the little bit of space within the leg lever sleeve. I don't really see it as a cause for concern as far as safety goes, but I do kind of worry that my left leg will be just a bit weaker than my right. Will I ever see that? Probably not, but it's just something you might be worried about. And they actually show it on their website, though probably unintentionally. And I mean, I think all leg extensions do kind of have that little bit of tilt to them, unless they attach down the center. And this isn't one of those, so. And just so you're aware, when doing exercises, the plates do kind of shimmy off the plate peg, so I'd put a collar on there if you care. Because I usually have the band on, the plates stay in place pretty good for me. Another thing that I apparently didn't read on their website was their important note. And it really makes me fucking wonder if I read anything at all before buying it. I must have just been so excited to have it that I just clicked buy now without reading anything on their page. But no, I haven't bolted down the HR2 rack or the SML1 rack that I usually have it permanently attached to. And I've had no issues. Even if I did bolt down both of those racks, there would just be a tiny bit of instability because there's only one pin that goes through the rack and the other pin is on the outside of the rack, giving it some up and down play.
That title, your sex tape. Weak.
Titan does that better because they have one safety pin going fully through the rack and then two screw pins going into the rack as well to keep it more stable. Now we're getting into the review portion of the video. This pros and cons list will basically only be for bells of steel because that's what I have, but I will mention the Titan version where applicable. Be cool and sub. Now onto the pros. This is compact. If you have the rack, then you have the space. It's relatively cheap compared to the standalones and the weight stack versions of leg curl leg extension machines. This is one of the cheapest options out there at $400. And getting something cheaper than this isn't always better. Both the user cap and the weight cap should be high enough for most people. But if you find that you need that extra 15 pounds or extra 25 pounds for either side, then I guess Titan's the move. And it comes in a variety of sizes. So if you got one of the more generic sized racks, then you should be able to find a compatible version with the bells of steel or the Titan versions. And buying this also provides you the two exercises that most people miss out on in their garage gym: leg curls and leg extensions. Plus it has a motherfucking pull pin. I cannot tell you how much that blew my mind. For months I've been screwing that in and out. I'm so stupid. Now on to the cons. This is one bevy hitch. Bells of Steel has the lighter version and it's still 60 pounds. If you want to buy the Titans one, that's 85 pounds. Which rolls on into the second con, it's difficult to attach. I can't imagine an old person trying to put this on. So if you're trying to get strong but are too weak to put this on, sorry buddy, but your chicken leggies are gonna stay. Third con is that it wobbles a bit, and that could be the make or break for you. If so, go ahead and go with the Titan. Going on to the fourth con is the leg roller tilts a bit. And I don't know exactly how that affects each leg, but if that worries you, this might not be the move. Fifth con is that this only provides 2 extra workouts. At $400, it's not the most versatile piece of equipment, thus making it a late stage gym piece. I'd say overall, I definitely recommend a leg curl leg extension machine in your gym. I mean, I even bought the SML1 so that I could have it permanently attached to something. And I better see you in the next one. Now we'll put this on. Start with it. All right. Yo. We're talking about the bells of steel leg curl leg extension. I just forget literally everything whenever I'm in front of the fucking camera. I'd say overall, I definitely, what the fuck?